morning and welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show. I see myself, with my headgear, looking different. Good morning, my name is Tom Aderile. Welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show on this lovely Tuesday morning. It's a Tuesday morning that's going to be full of God's blessings, full of goodies, surprises, pleasant surprises for everyone. On the table this morning, I have Aki Fatuke. It's good to have you. When he walked into the studio, I heard the people at the back end say, Babati dear. I'm like, where is the Baba? Is it this young man that we have with us? Aki Fatuke always looking very good and very young. Good morning, Aki Fatuke.
Thank you, Tom. Always a pleasure. Thanks so much to be here. Vera, thank you. I'd like to say good morning for all those in Nigeria, and I believe we are being reeled outside Nigeria, so wherever geography of the world that you decide, whatever time it is, I'd like to say a big pleasure to be on the set.
All right, this Vilama Wobe is it's a little catchy. It's a little catchy, Anybody who sees you first see the car, is there anything behind that style?
Yeah, well, this is typical Yoruba. Culturally speaking, Yorubas like to look good. We dress to the occasion, irrespective of whatever it is that is going on around us. As you can see, my cap is clicked towards the right. Some people say it means that the day is going to look brighter. And I will say amen to that, because things are not looking too good for now. And the way you dress is the way you are dressed.
That's correct. Okay, quickly, Vera, just say your sign on. It's good to have you on the table.
Yes,
and after that, we'll be taking a break.
My name is Vera Osopo. It's good to be here. I'm delighted. I'm here this morning. It's a beautiful morning and we're going to have a nice time together.
Yes, we're going to have a nice time together. It is the Bumper Breakfast Show on MITV. We will take a break, and when we return, we're going to go into our first course. So sit back, relax. You're going to join us for breakfast this morning. Welcome.
And singles step into the love pad where love isn't just found, it's tested.
Been along. I'm exploring.
Lines blur, desire takes over, and jealousy hits harder than any storm.
I'm jealous, and that's not something I hide.
Some find romance they've waited for their whole lives, and where there's love, there's bound to be heartbreak. In the love pad, every heartbeat counts, but in the end, who will find true love?
came yesterday.
But they appreciate it. Are you talking?
I couldn't hold. I was.
You are.
This Ramadan, tensions rise and hearts are tested. Two rival sisters can love heal what pride broke. A defiant daughter, will she earn forgiveness? A young bride, can her faith bring her husband back? A wealthy businessman forced to rediscover family. An influencer torn between friendship and fame. A single mother learning that even strength needs support. 6 stories, 30 days. Faith, family, friendship, food, and forgiveness. Tales of Ramadan Season 2. Watch every dramatic moment on TV and digital. This Ramadan, my returns of the heat.
Ramadan, the only month of blessings and forgiveness, is here again. This is an opportunity for corporate bodies to grow their brands and individuals to enjoy unending blessing from Allah by way of sponsoring any of our ARI programs, specially packaged for this Ramadan period. You can sponsor our call to prayer, Ramadan Tafsir, Taraweeh live from Holy Kaaba, Makkah, Medina, Iftar Family Quiz Show, Dawn Transmission from 3 to 7 a.m. and lots more at affordable cost. For information on how you can be part of this program, contact our marketing department for details or call any of the following lines: 0803-300-4531 or 0803-515-8756 or 002-928-0721. Ramadan Mubarak.
I know, I understand. Then I should be.
We're kicking your year off
in all her glory.
with more because we've got you.
You get it?
We got kicks, we got scores, we got action, we got roars.
It's my specialty.
We got drama, we got fun. We got more for everyone.
Bingo.
Come get it. Come get with us and stick with us too. And boom, there's an upgrade on us just for you.
We got you.
More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
Perfect.
For the fam, for the crew, more for you every day. Yes, we've got more of everything you need to start your year with extra joy.
Thank you.
DSTV, we've got you all the way.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Bumper Breakfast Show. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and I pray that today comes with all the blessings that God has in stock for all of us. I'm delighted this morning because I have two wonderful people. They are no strangers to you, I can promise you that. But they're people that get me excited each time I see them. Akin Fatuka is here. You know, he has his pillar facing the right-hand side of his head. I wonder what that is about. Perhaps he will tell us, but I'm excited to see him looking very good and looking very radiant as usual. Good morning, Akin Fatuka.
I'm always excited to be with you.
But you really don't look excited this morning. This
the
is not
shine,
the Akin
shine,
Fatuka that I know.
The shine is not
What's
there
going
this
on?
morning. Good morning.
Nigeria is not
Sir.
an exciting mood.
Okay.
Many things are not bring on ground with our nation good. And I still believe that in spite and despite, tomorrow is going to be bright.
Yeah. Today.
Woke up today and decided to put my cap onto the right side of my hand here because I believe today is going to be bright in spite of whatever situations that surround me. My middle name is Eitayo, and I should be seen as a happy girl, bringing hope, peace to the helpless people who are not as privileged as me, who don't have the kind of privilege that I have. Tell them that tomorrow is going to be bright. Always a pleasure to be with you, Tom. Always a pleasure to be with you, Vera.
Thank you.
As Okonomo, as we say it in Yoruba.
Yes, that's what you are.
Always a pleasure to come share knowledge, perspectives, and to also gain something from you folks and what our viewers feel. Thank you so very much for welcoming me this week. And so warmly.
Vera, I don't even know when you're unhappy. I don't know when Nigeria is happening to you. You're just a different human being. I don't know why you're always laughing for starters. You know, but I'm always happy because when I see you, you make me laugh. Even when, I feel kind of blue, I see you with a bright smile, you're laughing, you're trivializing every every problem that Nigeria could possibly have brought to one's doorstep or domain. You know, you're just an exciting.
I'm just feeling.
You know?
Making me feel.
So yes, I am happy and delighted to be with you on the table this morning.
Well, it's always a pleasure anytime I come sit with you and we do this together. You know that you're a very beautiful woman. This grace is upon you, and also it's like the team is a nice one. But I tell viewers at home, good morning to you. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, very beautiful. Well, you just have to give hope to people. The challenges will always come. It depends on how you handle it. Well, we face challenges, but we see solution ahead of those challenges. So it's grace, by God's grace, we will conquer as a people and as a nation.
We will conquer as a people and as a nation. Those are Vera's words. And ask me if I believe them. I certainly do. Because they say tough times never last. Only tough people do. And I know that at least the three of us on this table are tough. Talk about being tough. Akifatuka is tough. Just don't forget, just forget the looks. Sometimes the looks could deceive, but he's a tough man. And I doff my hat for him. Vera, that one, like I said, she's just something else. I don't know what's happening to the network this morning. It's not really opening.
Not coming up. Yeah.
It's not coming up. I don't know. Is it coming up at your end?
Yeah,
Our first story is supposed to be Tinubu to governors. We're determined to win the war against terrorism. And usually there's a story attached to
let me see if I can read that.
To these stories that we discuss on the table. Network isn't opening up for me, but I think Vera has got it. So Vera will read it for us.
Okay. Network is bad, but I'll go through it. Tinubu to governors, we are determined to win war against terrorism. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Monday restated his resolve to combat terrorism and other security challenges facing the country. Addressing the gathering of 36 state governors and some ministers of the Federal Executive Council at the second edition of the National Economic Council NEC conference held at the Banquet Hall State House, President Tinubu described the banditry and terrorism as a menace aligned to Nigeria, but which must be subdued. It is an economic hindrance, and we must look for a way of solving this immediately. He promised to continue strengthening the security forces and to seek partnership to counter insecurity, which he admitted has given Nigeria sleepless night. I think that's where I can.
Okay, well, but at least we understand, the basics of that story. Our president is telling the governors that any which way we are going to combat terrorism in Nigeria, and we're going to win. That, for me, that's the key word. We're going to win. It depends on how we go into these things. Are we going with negative thoughts, or are we going with positive thoughts? The positivity of this statement for me is the statement itself. Akin Fatuke, the president says we're going to win the war against terrorism, and is telling the governors. Do you see that happening, and how soon?
Thank you once again. There are two aspects of me here this morning. The reality, the humanistic, the one that tells himself the truth, and then the other one, of course, which I agree, the positivism that you mentioned, the energy. And so, Mr. President has spoken the right words. And those are the words that were even taught, that when things are not going fine, have faith, or walk on the faith, and ensure it is right. You said this morning turn, I'm not talking about you now, this is just general. If they turn, they open it up, you see a lot of pain. Consider this. Somebody was kidnapped in Ekiti. And after negotiating ransom, 10 million naira was put together and taken by the family to the kidnappers. Two things happened. One, kidnappers rejected the 10 million and then kidnapped the people that brought it. When you say I said too. Well, I know that you are artistic, you are into drama in everything you do. Which script that you have ever been written, either for primary school, secondary school, university student, have you read? I'm talking of scripts, Big Believe. That's what I've just described. The motif or the theme of your script. People will tell you, shut up. It's not possible. What I thought is not possible in Nigeria becoming a daily affair. So the humanistic and the reality in me is telling me, I won't say I disbelieved it. Nigeria has been broken. I am not aware that anybody has predicted the kind of situations we found ourselves security-wise in this country. And please let me put a little comma. They are not full stop. A little comma there. When you begin to point that finger, it's Tinubu's problem, we are still scratching around the reality of the issue. The reality of the issue is that is done for me. We have allowed what we should not allow. And we as a people, the vast majority of us as a people, have given up on the entity that we call Nigeria. We should not continue to lie to ourselves that we have a country. We don't. Mind over matter now tells me we don't have a country. And the way things are, the earlier we wake up, smell the coffee, and say we are different in all respects. We can still have our affiliation. We can have loose, but it has to be to your tent, O Israel. And whilst at your tent, we decide what we are going to do in the center. It looks to me, which is the more grave aspect. Each time I come and I say this, people look at it and say, whatever it is, but on a daily basis, I begin to see that mirror on the wall is showing me the fact that even if people say that they don't agree, that is the solution. Now, Abraham Adesoya, before he died, of Nadeku, made a statement. He made a statement. He said, patriots, those of us still alive, we better come together. He made that statement on national television. We better come together and tell ourselves the truth. This contraption, if we don't find a solution to it, those coming behind us are going to find it tough. So we are the ones coming behind them. And I'm saying yes, I'm adding, saying what we see today on a daily basis, the Ekiti incident that I just mentioned to you. Stop saying Ekiti. You better look at wherever you are, even in Lagos, whether it's Abuja, whether it's in Port Harcourt, anywhere. And I'm ringing out that bell that our children's children coming don't have anything, in my honest opinion, based on what I'm seeing today, what I saw yesterday, that we can give to them like that. And the earlier we come to the realism that Nigeria, as presently considered, cannot work. Let's loosen out a little bit and decide what we are going to put in the center. I'm sorry. I thought I should just put that on and take it out of my mind. A kidnapper from nowhere, 10 million, you go to borrow money, you took it there, and those who kidnapped you said they rejected it. I should be reject now. Kidnap those who brought it in again, so to be able to multiply.
Raise my money.
What do you call that? That is hell. We are in hell, unfortunately, and that's the way I see it. Thank you.
Right now, Akifatunke is feeling really, really, really bad, and I understand. You don't have to be related to these people to feel the pain. And then when you see your president come out and tell the governors that we're going to win the war. Now, people who are going through this experience start to wonder how, because to them there is no sign. There is no sign of hope, not even a ray or a speck of light, in the darkness of the tunnel. And this is worrisome. I understand and I feel your pain, sir. If Nigeria happens to people, it is not a pleasant thing. How do we explain what he just said? Vera, let's look at it from your point of view.
Honestly, to me, that's why I tell people, let's say it as it is. When he started making his own submission on these things, I was excited. You don't have to be the family of these people. You can imagine drones of people being abducted, drones of people being killed, they're killing people still. I don't know, that's just been pure wickedness. For me, I don't do drama, I just say it as it is. Because at this stage now, we need to tell Mr. President the way things are going. Now, if you look at the budget, there's budget deficit. You look at what they are pushing in, and the outcome of what we're getting is not commensurate with what we take in. For me, it's sad. It really saddens my heart to see that we do this to ourselves. We don't need to play games. I think the military, all the security agencies should come together. And I also think our local chiefs in those communities should also be questioned, because you cannot attack, and we just call only president name. We need to begin to ask questions. We have the local government, we have the councils, we have the state, we have all of these people. What's happening? The other time we read that the villagers brought this up, but nothing was done. They didn't see. They said these people wrote a letter that they're going to come, and they came. When these people, the infantry of writing letters and actually carrying out their threat is something we also have to look at. And when you tell us you capture these people and we don't see them, you don't persecute them, we don't see anything concerning them, it's worrisome, it's sickening, it's terrible. Honestly, at this stage, maybe we should call for a state of emergency, or I don't know how to put it. Maybe everything should just be on hold and let's settle this. Insecurity, I cannot imagine someone kidnapped, God forbid, and you think one will be comfortable. I laugh over things. Challenges have steps. We have challenges and upon challenges. But when I want to, I weep. Mr. Faktoke said something that I laugh and laugh and laugh. No, sometimes I weep. But you see, when you can't do anything about it, you just trust God and you move ahead. Otherwise, blood pressure will kill you. So what you need to do at this state, you just trust God. And you say, I'm leaving this situation into the hands of God. But you must first do your own effort, put in something, perform something. You don't just stay and say, oh, God is going to answer me. You must look at your environment, see something, say something. It's true. But the government needs to take responsibility of what is happening. How come you give these people money? They are not taking cash. They go through the banks. So what's happening with our banks? What are they doing and what are they not doing? Are we not supposed to be asking questions? And if they are taking cash, are they not supposed to be security that will tell all these people? I know they work on the intelligence of people and tell you, well, if you tell anybody, we're going to kill you. You tell anybody or not, they will kill you. That's what they're doing now. So I don't know if we can say a state of security or so. I don't even know what to do now. But it's sad. It's sad.
Before Tom comes back,
Jesus.
you know we have looked
Yes.
at that ecosystem. Tom, I'm sure you are not going to tell me that you have not seen. I don't know what to believe. That a medical doctor and his brother was captured in Edo State.
It is.
They paid ransom. They killed the younger brother. And days later, those who did those heinous crimes now took their child or daughter to the hospital of the medical doctor they were killed. And that guy cited them. And they were arrested. Maybe that is AI. Because like I said, you don't even know
What is true?
Tell me, which Agatha Christie novel will you or a James Harley Chase novel that you will have read read things like this? Look at the audacity.
It's getting too many.
You took the ransom, you killed the younger brother, and then you have a problem, the one that killed, and the first thing you thought of is to rush that child to the hospital, and that hospital now is the hospital of the person who have killed. Can you imagine? Is this
Now,
real?
in that kind of
Is this real?
circumstance, it's really is very dicey, because as a human being, how do you think the doctor would feel? You feel like killing that child, first of all. But you know that he's sworn to an oath, to save life irrespective of the circumstance. But let's not trivialize this anyway. It is something, even if this is all we discuss today,
yeah.
It is worth discussing. How could they have kidnapped someone and asked for ransom? They took the ransom to them. The family took the ransom to them. They refused the ransom and kidnapped every member of the family that went. Come on. And then our president is telling us, Mr. President, you tell us that we're going to win the war. We're not saying we're not going to win the war. And I like the positivity. I like the air around that statement. But the truth is that the people that you govern, they want to see the hope. They want to see that flicker of light. They want to see that ray of light in amidst that dark tunnel. They are not seeing it. You see, they say a journey of 100 miles begins with one step. So when you take the Yoruba say "I duro nijo," once you're not standing in one place, that means you've started the dance. If you understand what I'm saying, we're saying that we need to see some movement. We don't see anything. We don't even see enough evidences. We say we have captured these people. We have taken them to court. We never get to know the end of a story, and that is the Nigerian way. It's unfortunate because it is not the proper way. When are we going to do things the right way in Nigeria? When are we going to give the people of Nigeria hope? Because they are looking up to the leaders. And yes, I'm not saying that the people don't have their own challenges. The people have their parts to play, But you see, they always can hide behind the leaders. If the leaders are not, leading by example, then the people will have an excuse to give. We are going to have a security expert today on the program, and I'm glad we are going to have him. I'm told that he's somebody who has answers to all the questions that we possibly may be asking today. So I'm looking forward to having him on the table. When that time comes, we will invite him. So just one more question before we take a break and ask him to come, on set. Like I said, if that's all we discuss today, I'm satisfied and I'm fulfilled. One more question. How long do you think Nigerians will be able to cope with this kind of thing? If this goes on the increase, and like Vera rightly said, money is being released for security. We are not seeing the resultant effect of that money. We don't see that money work. We don't see it. Then the people are going to, at some point, lose patience. How long do you think the people will wait for these stories that we read every day in the newspapers?
Okay, I don't know how long we'll wait, but you see, people are beginning to see this as a business somewhere. If they begin to see it as a business, more people will want to go into it. So I think the government needs to do something fast, because I don't understand
Well-
why we are playing. I don't know if I would say we're playing with it or we're not. What we should be talking about is security.
We're actually treating it with
That's what we should be talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so it's time for us to take a break and ask, our guests to come on set, and we would see how we can tackle this thing. We'll see, because I've been briefed that, he's almost a messiah when it comes to security issues. The only thing he probably may not have, are the instruments and the equipment and everything that he may need to fight insecurity, but he understands the name of the game. So we'll take a break on the Bumper Breakfast Show, and when we return, we'll be having a guest on the program. Please stay tuned, don't go anywhere. It's getting more and more interesting. We'll be serving the second course when we come back. So breakfast is not over yet. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show. The breakfast table just grew bigger to accommodate more people. Right now, we're not going to waste too much time. We will be introducing our guests. We have Dr. Felix Olorunda, and he has a PhD in security studies. Yes, he is a retired Army officer. He is with us on the table today, and we don't want to perambulate. Sir, my very first question, 17.39 billion naira between the years 2021 and to 2025. What have we spent that money on, and have we achieved anything, or are we still scratching the surface in terms of security?
Well, you know, security is, because when you mention that money, you need to convert it to dollars, because most of the platform that we require are not very expensive. Yeah, you know that we have sourced them from foreign countries, because we don't make those equipment here. So when you get the cost of those equipment, the missile, the aircraft, the combat aircraft and all of that, you know that money is not as big as that. Because we need more equipment, we need drones. So because when we have this security challenge, people expect that, are we going to have soldiers in all the communities, rural communities, policing the schools and all the soft targets that they go after? No. So if we have more equipment that can do the work, and this equipment costs a lot of money to train, and send people on expert training and all of that to acquire the knowledge to operate those equipment and to maintain them. So it's very expensive. Security item is a very expensive item all over the world.
So you're saying that we've not started at all?
We don't even. I don't think we have enough money to do that, because there are other items that we need to. We can't just devote all our resources on security, and so we need other social services to be provided by government. So they still have to say, okay, this is what we can do now. We will do others later. But I think we should understand the severity of the problem that we have concerning security, and the money that we need to spend to acquire equipment, the right equipment that we need for the security force to be able to do their work.
Okay, question I wanted to ask before that one is, what are the root causes of terrorism, and how can this be addressed? Because before we begin to look at things, let's know what are the causes.
The terrorism is a global phenomenon. It's not the peculiarity of Nigeria. So all over Africa, in other African countries, they have terrorism in Mali, in Burkina Faso. So let's not make it look as if it's an isolated problem of Nigeria. It's a global issue, and some of the people that are coming to terrorize us in Nigeria are not even from Nigeria. They are from other parts of African countries, and they move freely from the Sahel region to our country, and to cause this problem that we have. But we need to deal with it as a country.
How can we address it?
But if we do know that these people are not Nigerians, and we have an idea where they're coming from, why is it that we cannot be proactive enough to combat these things? And then we're talking about money. We need to spend enough money. Perhaps if we deprived ourselves of building a new First Lady's office, perhaps if we deprived ourselves of certain things that are inconsequential really when it comes to security. Security is very, very important, and I don't know if you think that enough money has been channeled or budgeted towards security, because there must be a scale of preference for every country. Do you see that happening in Nigeria?
No, because we need to know that this security issue have to be fought on different fronts. Look at the issue that happened in Kwara. You know that it took the governor about 5 hours to drive from Ilorin to that place. So even if you have intervention coming from the military, how do they access some of this community? There are no roads. So the political leaders have to also do their job, because when you have this issue and you have even the local government headquarters who are nearer to these rural communities, if there are good roads, if you can have some mitigation coming from the local government headquarters to quickly intervene, but you find out that some of these roads are not accessible. These communities are not accessible by road. So if you have to go there, before you get soldiers to get on the vehicle and drive there, they have done whatever they want to do, and they have escaped into the bush, because they are more familiar with the terrain, even than the soldiers that are going to mobilize. And so it's a whole wide issue that is not going to go away. And you know that another aspect that we are not paying attention to is that Nigerian politicians weaponize everything to win election. So now that we are going to another system of election, you see some of these things are being sponsored. A former Attorney General is being prosecuted for sponsoring terrorism, for example. These are people who are in government who have access to a lot of money, and they are sponsoring some of these things to make the government in power look bad, the market, so that they can win power. So there's a lot that can be unpacked when we consider Nigerian security problem. And everything is being blamed on the president. What of the local government chairman? Now we have local government autonomy. They have their money. In the USA that we copy our democracy from, even the sheriff, when there's a problem in the sheriff that you see, you won't see anybody calling on Trump. You will see the local sheriff, the local community policing. Until we have state police, we have local community policing who understand everybody, who knows everybody, who can police their community. You can't expect that Abuja is going to come and intervene in your local community. Abuja, so the governor, when it happens, the governor will go to the president will go and do condolence visit. What happened to the local chairman, who also gets allocation from? What is he spending on to protect his local community?
What do you think?
Precisely.
Yes.
For me,
yes.
Preaching to the converted. Because I've always believed that our problems are hidden, not straightforward. Yes. So I understand that. But you know that Sun Tzu, in his Art of War, talks about some of the things Tom has mentioned, some of our intervention, and your intervention. Money can never be enough. I understand. You have community policing and attempt to make community policing, we are all kind of divided. And I came to an inescapable conclusion that it goes beyond money. It goes beyond I wish. It goes beyond prayers. It gets now onto how cohesive are we as a country. Because I believe, like you mentioned about the politicians also need to show a lot of empathy to go out there, face the bullets. So I want to talk about the military itself, irrespective of how much how united is our military. Are we having the Nigerianness now getting into the military whereby, the esprit de corps, some people see what happened to Brigadier Iba, according to what some of the things we had, that the locals or maybe people within the military itself leaks information, or that we hear that many people don't want to join the military from certain parts of the country because according to them, when they join, they will be the ones that, like bombs on the chest, go to face the bullet. Is the Nigerian military, or in reality we have different sketches and patches even within the military that has now been politicized and not have the capacity to even make whatever minuscule attempts with what they have?
Well, I think the first thing that the civil society should also try and investigate is, do we have the military that is motivated to fight? Because these Nigerians exist for the politicians. Are we taking notice of that? That Nigerians as today, it exists for the political leaders. They don't care about other sectors or the critical sector that the military. I serve in the military. What is the motivation? When you leave the military after 35 years, what do you get? As a pension, gratuity? What do you give your political leaders who get elected to the National Assembly and you bought them 400 million value of I know that if you serve in the military and start 35 years, you don't get up to 30 million as your take home. You can find out. These things are in the public domain. So it's the people who are serving in the military today, do they get enough motivation that they want to lay their lives? And those who get injured, fighting, how are they treated? So these are the bigger issues that we are not paying attention to. Because if you have the military that is not motivated, because you know that if he goes, what happened to my wife and my children? Would they be able to go to school? Because we pay so much attention. Look at the benefit that these political leaders are taking. Look at how much money, when you hear that they leave the office, they are being committed to EFCC prosecution, how much money they are able to take away, how much property they have all over the place. What happened to our military? Have you visited the barracks to see where the militaries are quartered? The police barracks, who are supposed to fight this battle? What is the take-home of a policeman today in Nigeria? So are these people motivated? their best for the country. These are issues that surround security, insecurity in Nigeria. These are big. It's more than the military. What are our military doing? What is the army doing? Do we address? Do we also question those? Do we interrogate them?
Just like every other thing of importance.
Yes.
You know, insecurity, I think, is being toyed with in Nigeria, because just as you rightly said, how much motivation do these people who we expect, you know, to fight and protect us, how much motivation do they really have that they will want to lay down their lives, you know, for...
Somebody went to play football and win the African Cup, and the president just announced $100,000. How much is that?
So, I mean, when we're reckless
with
the funds and with taxpayers' money, you know, there's a big issue on ground. And then we look at things that are really crying out, you know, that really need these monies to be spent on them, and the monies are not spent on them. And you now start to think, do our leaders really care?
Or is it a lip service?
Yes,
you know,
because you're kind of confused. Do our leaders really care? Again, a valid point was made. Some of these people are sponsoring the terrorists.
Yes.
And, sir, would you tell me that our leaders don't know?
That?
The leaders don't know these terrorists or the people sponsoring?
Well, they know, but you know that even it was Lord Jonathan who said most of the Boko Haram people are in the cabinet when he was president. You remember that?
So how do we want to believe the statement?
They are, and now we have seen. I mean, it's still in the court.
Yeah.
Now that we saw a former Attorney General being, and then there's a Bauchi angle also that the commissioner there have been picked because they can trace the funds. That these are funds that are going to the terrorists. So what more evidence do we have that some of these terrorism, acts of terrorism and insecurity are being sponsored by our politicians?
But I also know that despite all of this,
yes,
I know that I have always been saying it on the show that you can look at ECOMOG. Nigerian military are no weak military people. They are very strong. They fought loads of wars.
Yes.
But at the same time, even if the government is not doing the right thing at the military, because I know they are strong and they are very vocal, are they not supposed to come out and say, hey, this attack, because it's repeated, you know, terrorist attacks, are they not supposed to say, we need A, Y, Z? Is it part of, or is it not part of your system?
Is it unethical?
Okay, they have a channel of communication. If that is in the reality, they know how to communicate. They are not expected to communicate to the public so that they don't, this panic is not created, and they are supposed to give confidence that look, we are in charge. We can contain this. We can round up.
No, what I'm saying is, they can call for a press conference.
No, but he's saying it is unethical.
They have a channel of communication.
It's unethical.
It's not a pattern.
Yes.
You also recall at one point in time, push became a show, and then the military said they were going to go on strike.
Yeah, I remember that time. But I've not finished.
Can Vera? He has just 4 minutes now left. So can you just quickly ask your question, Vera?
To break it out, but was it internal? You consider it just as an example, an internal leakage within the military that leaked that out? Yes or no?
You know, in the military, we have what we call the field columnist. So within there will always be people who the enemy can get. You know, there's a way they can get into, because that's the strategy of the enemy. That's all the strategy of the military. You must see how you can penetrate the enemy. Get some information. That's intelligence.
So United is out of the game.
No, they are united, but that's not to say that you won't get someone who is ready to sell out.
So
Vera,
because we will soon wrap up this segment, I want also you to, because you're an expert, what are the communities supposed to be doing to prevent this spread?
Thank you.
You know, it's very important.
Yes, I think that's where we can actually mitigate this. The community must rise up. Like, I come from a community that is bordering Kogi State. I'm not a Lagosian. And we know that in our own community, there was a time our farmers couldn't go to farm. But some of us who have served in the military, we have some generals who retire, we have to come together with our people in the diaspora. We have to raise a committee to protect the community. And that And the right thing was done. Most of the young men that were in the community that don't have anything, because you can't be in a community and you wait for them to come and kill your wife and your children. You just have to do something. Whether you fight them, you will die. If you don't fight them, you will die. Why not do something? So why those local communities in Nigeria, rural communities, have to rise up to protect their community? At least delay the attack. Have a way of delaying those attacks. Don't just wait for them to come and kill you, kill your wife, kill your children, and destroy everything that you have lived for. So they own themselves that duty to make sure that they must find a way to protect their communities.
And do you think that the government should be looking inward? I mean, looking at the communities, liaising with them, trying to empower them, give them the necessary things that they need. Don't you think that all of these, the local government, the state, everybody should come together and ensure, because I'm not sure that we're serious about this. Do you think we're really serious in Nigeria?
I think it depends on the state governors, because in our own state, through Amotekun, remember in Ondo State, our late governor through Amotekun, and Amotekun was to protect all the communities and make sure that at least
Amotekun was to protect the communities, but at that time, the same Malami put a lot of stores.
But they were able to.
Now what's the situation now?
Exactly. The situation now, Amotekun is working to a situation. Okay, when I referenced my own community, it was because of Amotekun. So Amotekun were well equipped in our own community to protect the community.
Security is everybody's business.
All right. Well, I think that just like Akifatuke said, security is everybody's business. It's our business. It's the government's business. But if the government is going to abandon its people, then the people should rise up to protect themselves. Yes. It is unfortunate and it is very disheartening that one of us will come to the table this morning looking like he's mourning because of what is happening in Nigeria. It's unfortunate, and we keep shouting on this table that we need, to ensure that we are secure, lives and property are secure in Nigeria. That's not happening, and until we see that happening, we will continue to shout like the canary. We'll continue to talk like the parrots. That's our take on this. I would like to thank Dr. Felix Lorunda for being our guest today on the program. The time was really too short. When we want to talk security issues, we need a lot of time to do that, and I know that you're engaged here and there. You're going to another television station. Next time, don't do that to us, please. Don't do that to us next time. All right. All right, at this point, we'd like to round up and let Dr. Lorunda leave, but we will return on the Bumper Breakfast Show. Please don't go anywhere. It's still the Bumper Breakfast Show. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast Show today. The next very important topic that we need to address is a breaking news. Tinubu meets Wike, Fubara, and Rivers leaders in Aso Villa. Vera, do you have that story, or I should take it?
Take it, please.
Okay. There appears to be a let-up in the political crisis rocking Rivers State. President Bola Tinubu last night met with the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike, Rivers State Governor Simlaye Fubara, and some leaders from the state in Aso Rock. Though details of the meeting remain sketchy, a source informed the nation that the embattled Governor Fubara followed Wike to his house in Guzape, Abuja after the meeting. Well, that Fubara was said to have begged the minister, vowing never to disrespect him again. Well, well, that's just the story. It's as brief as that. So I don't know what this is about. Fubara begging Wike not to disrespect him. Did anybody tell Wike that Wike himself is disrespectful to a lot of people? No, he needs to know that, and he's always making trouble with everybody. You know,
everybody, everything.
Yes, and if
everything.
we look at the Rivers State situation, you know, there's tendency for people to take sides. Like Akin Fatuke would say, oh, it's Fubara that's a troublemaker. Some people may say it's Wike, you know, that kind of thing. But you see, when something extends beyond a particular place, you know, it's every and anybody. He is always in one fracas or the other with someone or the other. And you know, for me, that's not a very good thing, and he doesn't give me the sign that he will ever be a good leader. Anyway, this is the situation on ground. Akin Fatuke, we just have about 5 minutes for you or less, you know, to discuss this issue. Fubara apologizing to Wike, the president meeting with them. I don't know what he probably would have said to make Fubara apologize to Wike and follow him to his house. But however, let's hear your opinion, and then we can hear from Vera as well.
I'll put it allegedly. Okay, right. Maybe it happened, maybe that didn't happen. What I was sure happened was that Mr. President, for the 1st time, called the two of them
Try to make peace.
And that was my prediction. When he was abroad, he was in Turkey, I made it clear that we are going to see the hand of the Jagaban. Each time I say that, when people look at it and fight Wike, fight Fubara, and I've always said that the Jagaban has a playbook. It happened in Lagos between him and Fashola, and that Fubara and Wike needed to be able to go learn from that, you know, playbook. Have you noticed, allegedly also, that Mr. President clearly, alleged, I said, instructed Wike in no denying and straightforwardly, stop yourself and your team from wanting to impeach Fubara. That is the kind of a strong man in the Mr. President. And allegedly again, that the APC leadership in Rivers State was handed over to Fubara in open glare. And Wike said, well, allegedly would have agreed. That's the mark of what I call a leader. You may say, here, there, people have said that, yes, when Mr. President comes, he's going to sack Wike and all that. And I kept on just laughing to myself. Solomon has come to justice. He was going to make an adjudication that to the ordinary eye people would think that Solomon was wicked, but with divine wisdom, we may call it negative wisdom, positive wisdom, Mr. President has scored another masterstroke. Because Mr. President realized, for people who don't like Wike, people people who don't like Fubara, the whole thing is about he himself. You know, people don't like him. Why should we be aligned here and there? So I don't think. I think a battle has been won. The war still rages, and the way and manner that Fubara, that he's going to behave like Fashola, he needs a lot of learning from Fashola. You'll be given if he's ready to do it. Those will be my comments. Thank you.
Vera, what's it from you this time?
Well, from me, it's commendable the president calling on both of them again. And at the same time, it's embarrassing. I must say that I used to like Wike because I know he was a very strong and blunt person. But when a man that is strong and blunt begins to see himself as demigod, there's a problem. It's a big problem. Nobody can talk to you. No, you just feel that you are just too big enough. Bigger than the nation is not possible. People, put you there, and you must adhere to rules and regulations and understand. The state used to be the governor. You're no more the governor. Why not just keep space and let the person that is running the state run the state? Because right now the electorates are suffering. The grass they are suffering right now because chaos every day, issues every day. The man coughs, there's a problem. He doesn't do this, there's a problem. You don't even allow him rule or lead well. And I think this must stop. Not just, this is not the first time the president is calling on
both of them together.
Both of them. He's always calling them. And I think it's becoming too shameful. You must respect the president. Is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So you must the minister is not the president. And he shouldn't be carrying himself, the body language, carrying himself. Nobody can do me anything.
Demigod.
They should, if he disrespect or refuse to obey the president, he should be taken off. That's what should be done. But when you leave him there, he's giving the electorate signs that nobody can touch me. And he says it, if you listen to his word, he should be taken off. So that people can learn that you can't be bigger than the state, neither bigger than the federal government. But you're keeping him there, they're talking to him. I'm sure the president by now is actually tired. We have loads of challenges, loads of issues that we want to face. River State shouldn't be the one we're carrying. People are dying. Kogi State was attacked. States are being attacked. We should be facing that one and not looking at facing what is not. Please, they should just tell this guy to, or just take him off, so that we can have peace. Let them take him off. True.
The daughter of a retired soldier, what do you expect?
Let them take it off. There's no big deal.
No wasting of time.
Don't waste enough time. If you want to rule your community, go to your home, go to your family and rule them. It's getting too much. Let them have peace.
And for people who say that Wike is, he's hands-on in Abuja, it's just to tell you that, he could have been doing times 100 of what he's doing if he was fully concentrated and focused on his job. Wike wants to have his hands in too many pies. And when I hear people argue and say, oh, Fubara must be loyal to Wike, that's his political godfather. Listen to me. That there's a clause for me. The clause is the political. Listen to me. We have parents who brought us into this world, whose obligation it was to do everything for us. And at a particular time, it is our obligation to do things for them. But guess what? At the end of the day, they let the goat and the rope. Do you understand what I'm saying? They won't say because I was one. They see you off, and hand you over if you're a female to somebody who's asking your hand in marriage. And life is not. God who gave us the will to reason freely. Why did He hold us by the neck? Because He created us. So we need to rise above that kind of thinking. And know that everybody has the will to reason freely. And when you're in a position, you've been given a position, allow that person to operate and work. Fubara has not worked as far as I'm concerned. And I know if I give Akufatuke a chance to speak, we're going to take the rest of the time because he has so much to say. But I know I see you nodding, and it will not be fair for me to round up without asking you to say just now. I'm giving you 1 minute.
Moderation is the name of the game. Anything that you do in
Good.
excess.
That's it.
Naturally, even puts a plate of food here, and I begin to, I'll get choked. So wisdom is profitable to direct. I am in agreement with you that Wiki needs to calm down.
He should be
Bola
calming
Ahmed
down.
Tinubu, the president of Nigeria today, perhaps allegedly confronted with what you are being confronted with, he calmed down. So I think you should also calm down.
You need to be coming down. That's how we put it.
I don't know about taking me out or whatever it is, but all I know is that Fubara also needs a lot of innate wisdom to also just take it a bit easy. Yes, instrument of power has been given to him now. Let's see what he does with it. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's a fact. You know, from his end also, he needs to also calm down. You know, there's a leader. He was your leader or he's still your leader. You know, despite the fact that you are a governor, you to also respect people. You know, so but it's because the way Wike is going about it, it's as if this is the president is giving us the wrong interpretation.
He's sending the wrong signal. Talk like an army officer's daughter.
And I'm not in signal barracks. Anyway, he's giving us the wrong signal, really. Sending the wrong signal. Sending the wrong signal. He's letting us feel that he's untouchable and he's a friend of the president, so I can do. You can't take me out. He will he will tell you that.
He's touchable. I saw the president touch him now, and he has accepted.
Okay,
let's see.
I don't want to call for a break because taking that break is going to take a lot of time. But we need to look at the headlines of the newspapers, and so just basically the banner, the basic headlines really. I'll start with the Punch newspaper. It says Senate reconvenes today as Electoral Act triggers uproar, and the riders are Obi joins NAS protesters. Kuka demands review. Anger mounts over controversial amendment, and Akpabio leads tense emergency sessions. Oyo princes launch court fight to preserve Alaafin's supremacy. President vows to replace open grazing with ranching reforms. Okay, I think I'll just take that from the Punch newspaper. Let's look at the Guardian.
Okay, the Guardian this morning. Fresh killings. Adoption heightens as security fear amidst drones attack. We have the picture stories of the protest going on. The former Anambra State Governor and the presidential aspirant Peter Obi, Nigerian youths and civil society groups protesting the Senate's reduction of compulsory electoral commission of the election results. We also have the Senate to harmonize electoral acts today amidst protests over real-time transmission. Residents protest as terrorists abduct 7 in Kaduna. Finally, from the Guardian, Natasha loses suspension appeal as court squashes 5 million contempt fine. That's all about that from the Guardian this morning.
Okay, and from the Tribune, we have some stories that we have already treated, and I'm not going to touch on that. But IMF, multilaterals, GDP projections achievable, but disconnected from everyday living. That's coming from experts. Federal government begins implementation of 40% pay agreement with ASU, orders compliance. We are determined to win war against terrorism. I think we already touched on that. Natasha has been touched on. All right, so I think that's really what we have for headlines from the newspapers. And on that note, we will start to get ready to round up. But we have a couple of shout-outs this morning. Our very own Abiola Ismail is making a shout out to Mr. Tomori Hughes. He turned 60 today. Mr. Tomori Hughes, your very good family friend, Mr. Biola Ismail and his family are sending their best wishes your way on your birthday this morning.
And I'm also sending.
And
we're also sending.
And of course, the
we're
Bumper Breakfast.
We're also sending it to you.
The Bumper Breakfast crew is also joining him to say happy birthday. May God continue to preserve your life. Where is his picture? Okay. May God continue to preserve your life and grant you many, many more years on earth and in perfect health and sound mind. Enjoy your day. 60.
What about your friend?
60. All right, we have one more shout out before we round up. And this next shout out is going to Dr. Adeola Ayorinde. Can we have her picture on the screen, please? Well, today is your birthday, Dr. Adeola Ayorinde, my sister, my very good friend. She's a wonderful woman, a woman of substance, you know, a virtuous woman.
Beautiful,
a
like I
woman
see the
with
picture.
a good heart, a beautiful woman. Yaloge, I mean, what do they call it? Ye. We should give her ye. All right, today's your birthday, and all of us on the Bumper Breakfast table are wishing you a very, very happy birthday. May God continue to preserve you. May He grant you good health and sound mind, and thank you for the number of lives you continue to save every day. I see you work, I see you struggle, and I see you trying to impact, you know, and make life better for people. So from all of us, it's happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All right.
We'll come after the show to enjoy ourselves.
All right, it's time for us to say our goodbyes. Akin Fatunke, from you first.
I'm brighter living than when I came.
That's good.
All eyes are on Abuja at the National Assembly. I am very certain that a decision is going to be taken. It's going to be realistic. It's going to be fair. It's going to be credible. When it comes, some people will be happy. Some people will not be happy. But I know we have a brighter Nigeria ahead of us. God bless.
All right, Vera.
It's a bye-bye from me. I'm Vera. I'll surprise you again tomorrow.
And from me, my name is Tom Aderile. It's been a pleasure being here. I hope to see you on the Thursday Bumper Breakfast table. God bless you and